Make tomato sauce at home at low cost. It will last for a year, and you can buy a lot of tomatoes at a much lower price, and make a lot of tomato sauce at once and keep it for the whole year. Today's video will show you how to make tomato sauce at home that is purer than the purchased sauce. For the recipe, you need to take ripe red tomatoes, so when the price of tomatoes is much cheaper in the market, then buy the tomatoes. With such ripe red tomatoes, the tomato sauce is good. I have washed the tomatoes well. Then look, I have cut the tomatoes into 4 pieces like this. Now I am putting the tomatoes in the pressure cooker. If you do it in the pressure cooker, the work is done much faster. I have given a piece of ginger, 1 medium-sized onion, 4 cloves of garlic. Here I have given a star anise or chucruful. I am giving 1 large cardamom. If you want, you can also use small cardamom. In that case, you will use 2. I am giving 2 pieces of cinnamon. Then I am giving whole cumin. We all have these at home. I have given a little part of the jaggery flour. And I have given 3 chilies. I added dried chilies. I added very little water. The water will come out of the tomatoes. I will give 2 whistles by closing the lid of the pressure cooker with a little water. Depending on the pressure cooker, it can give 3 whistles. So I gave 2 whistles here. Then I left the pressure cooker for a while. Then I opened the lid of the pressure cooker. The tomatoes soften very quickly. I am showing you. Look, everything else including the tomatoes has become soft. Do not put it in the mixer jar when it is very hot. I cooled it a little, that is, when the heat is mild, I turned it in the mixer jar and made a paste. Now, I have to take it through a sieve or strainer and remove the seeds. That is, the seeds have to be separated and discarded. So, in this way, I have separated the tomato seeds and the tomato paste that I mixed with everything and made it ready. Now I put it in a pan on the gas. After boiling it for about 2 minutes, I add Kashmiri red chili powder. This will give it a very beautiful color. I used half a spoon of it. And here I took tomatoes. A little more than a kilogram. So see, it has to be cooked on a low flame for about 15 minutes. The watery taste has to be completely dried out as much as possible. After that, I used sugar to get the moisture in the tomatoes. You can add more or less sweetness as you like. After adding the sweetness, see that it will become thin. I have used about 120 grams of sugar here. If you want, you can use 150 grams. Again, the sweetness can be given much less. I mean, there is no need to make it too sweet for those who do not like sweets. So see, after cooking it for about 10 more minutes, the tomato sauce is almost ready. Finally, I am adding a few ingredients. Here I add chili powder. Then I add a pinch of salt. Then I mix the chili powder and the pinch of salt well. It is well mixed. Look how beautiful it is. I have to see it now. The flame is set to very low. Now I am adding vinegar. Because of adding vinegar, the tomato sauce stays good for a long time. I added about 3 spoons of vinegar. I added very little baking soda. I am mixing the baking soda and vinegar very well. You can add 1 more ingredient here. That is citric acid. Although many people will not have it in their homes. So I left it out. After mixing it well, I turned off the gas. Now I will cool it completely. After it cools completely, I will store it in a glass jar. See, it is much better than the sauce bought in the market. It is absolutely pure. Preservatives are added to the sauce bought in the market. So it is good to keep it outside the refrigerator. However, This homemade tomato sauce cannot be kept outside the refrigerator for very long. If you keep it in a glass jar, it will last more than a year in the refrigerator. But if you keep it outside, it will not be good for very long. Of course, keep it in a clean, dry glass jar. And if those who do not have a refrigerator at home, they certainly do not need to make it for a very long time. Sometimes they can buy ripe red tomatoes from the market and make it. And those who have a refrigerator can easily make a large quantity and store it for the whole year when tomatoes are cheap. And the taste will beat any purchased one, thank you.